What's going on, folks? Your friend Dean Kulaweera here. Thanks for tuning in to today's segment. I just wanted to release a quick video about this topic I was reading about on LinkedIn, and someone was talking about, or there was a topic on LinkedIn that I saw on a post, and it was regarding basically multi-columned resumes, right? Resume, or maybe CV, whatever part of the world you're in, you might be calling it a resume or a CV. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But hey, first a quick shout out. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, make sure you hit me up with a like and make sure you subscribe for more job search related content. I'm always posting stuff to help everyone out in their job search, tips, advice, ideas, strategies, all that stuff. And if you're watching this on Anchor or one of the other podcasting platforms that I'm gonna put this out on, hey, make sure you subscribe for more content. Hey, I just want to put out information out there, folks, that's going to help job seekers, more effectively and practically handle their job search, right? So anyway, back to today's topic. I want to talk about multi-column resumes. Now, this whole multi-column resume thing, like I've been seeing this happening a lot, and I was actually wondering, how come, suddenly people are looking into multi-column resumes. I'm seeing a lot of templates. I'm seeing a lot of websites selling these templates online. And first of all, I think the whole advent of this whole multi-column resume thing is because of this whole thing going around that, hey, you should keep your resume to one page, right? Maybe 2 pages max, 1 page or 2 pages. Everyone's really pushing hard on this whole 1 page thing, right? And in order to do that, like, this is, I think, why the whole multi-column resume thing kind of came about. People are using tables or using those indentations and stuff like that. To basically introduce multiple columns in the resume so you can fit it into 1 page. And yeah, hey, I totally get that. Now, the problem with this, folks, and this is where I wanted to bring my perspective as a recruiter, someone who's worked in the recruitment industry for 8+ years. The problem with this is when you're looking at it from the perspective of submitting this resume, if it's a multi-column resume, to an ATS system, an applicant tracking system. Now, most of the time, and I don't know the statistics, but most of the time when you apply for a job online, your resume, right, even if you fill out an application and you attach your resume is going to end up on an applicant tracking system, an ATS, which is basically an automated system that houses and stores all the applications, all the resumes that people, you, potential candidates, potential applicants, potential, people interested in the role, submit your resume, right? You submit the resume, it goes into the ATS, and that's where it is. Now, here's the thing, folks, right? And this is where, and I, as a recruiter, I've used several ATS platforms. I've used Bullhorn. I've used, what's the other one? Job Diva. I've used one called Akin Cloud or Akin Cloud. I don't know how you pronounce it. I've used Salesforce as well. So I've used a couple, right? Like, and there's plenty of other ones out there as well, of course. Like, there's a whole abundance of ATS platforms. Now, how these ATS platforms work is as a recruiter, when I'm searching the system, I do a keyword search, or maybe I come across a resume while I'm doing this keyword search on the ATS. I'm not going to be, downloading each and every resume. So my first interaction with your resume is not going to be the actual Word document or PDF document itself. So what happens on the ATS is they take your file, right? Whether it's a Word document or a PDF, or I don't know if there's any other formats out there. But in any case, the ATS, what it does is it does what's called parsing, right? It parses. Parsing means that it takes your Word document, your PDF, and it converts it into a format that's readable within the ATS. And the reason this is done is so that recruiters are not constantly having to download, save the file, just so they can view the resume. So it's kind of a time-saving kind of a thing. So the ATS basically converts, right, quote unquote, converts your resume in Word document or PDF format into a format that's readable within the ATS. And depending on the ATS, I can literally, hover over your name or something in the system, and it'll show a quick, not a quick, but pretty much a preview of your resume and your resume, whether it's in PDF or Word document format. Now, the problem occurs when you have a multi-column resume, right? Whether it's a Word document or a PDF. Not all ATS systems can intelligently detect these columns, right? Because again, keep in mind, it's parsing or converting into a format that's readable within the ATS. So what happens as a result of this is The ATS system, the ATS platform does not know what a column is. Like, and I'm talking about the older ones. Now, look, folks, obviously there might be newer ATS systems that are more intelligent that can tell, okay, yeah, these are columns, and they can identify the columns and they can separate the information when it's being parsed or converted. But the older systems, and especially most organizations, they're not changing their ATS every single year or every quarter or something like that. Like, especially the bigger ones, right? These are like huge implementations, right? And there's a lot of companies out there that use older versions of these ATSs. So they're not able to really convert your 2-column or 3-column resumes properly into the system. And what ends up happening is all that information ends up like scrambled up. It's all scrambled up because it was not properly parsed or converted. So this is the issue with these multi-column resumes. Right, the multi-column resumes, this is the main issue, is that it might not properly get converted into that format within the ATS that makes it readable for the recruiter. So this is what you got to be aware of, folks. Now, again, there are newer ATS platforms out there that are more intelligent. They're more advanced. They can detect the columns and stuff like that. But the fact is, as an applicant, when you're at the application stage, you do not know which companies have those most up-to-date ATS platforms and which ones are using the older ones that will not be able to properly convert your multi-column resume. So in order for you to be more on the safe side, my recommendation, folks, keep it to a single column, right? Don't worry about your resume going beyond 1 page or 2 pages. In my 8+ years in recruitment, folks, and I've mostly recruited in the intermediate to senior level, right? So that is kind of the market segment I used to focus on. In IT, I used to mostly recruit for mid to senior level candidates, right? And so for the most part, the resumes I've presented have mostly been within 3 to 5 pages. I've even presented 8 to 10 page resumes to clients. I've never had someone reject a resume because of the number of pages, right? The pure, what most hiring managers are looking for purely is the content within the resume. So if your resume, if you have to make it a one column resume and you're like, oh, Dean, then it's going to be more than 1 page, do not worry about it. It's not a problem. It's not an issue. No company, no organization out there is going to eliminate your resume simply because it's more than 1 page. Like, it's not going to happen, folks. I've never seen that happen. What you need to focus on more so is the value you communicate within your resume. Now, if you can communicate that value within 1 page, hey, great, good for you. But if you need 3-4 pages to communicate that value, it's not a problem, folks. All right. But what I wanted to, and the point of this video was, look, I wanted to let you know that, the downside of using multi-column resumes. Yes, it looks good. Yes, it's definitely human friendly, but it's not ATS friendly. It's not ATS friendly, and you don't want to take any chances with your resume being parsed or converted incorrectly and ending up all scrambled up. And then the recruiter, takes a look at it within the ATS, and they're not going to take the time to decipher and unscramble all these mixed up words on your resume because the ATS did not properly convert it. So my advice, folks, at least in relation to applying for jobs online, if you're applying for an online application, you want to keep it to you want to keep it to 1 column. All right. So, hey, hope this information helps. And hey, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit me up with a like. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this on Anchor or any of the other podcasting platforms, hit me up with a subscribe for more practical, pragmatic tips and advice from someone who works in recruitment that you can actually utilize to your job search, right? And hey, by the way, if you're a job seeker, you're actively applying for jobs online, you're not getting responses. You're not getting responses from hiring teams and recruiters, and you're struggling with that, I'm going to put a link in the description. Make sure you sign up for my free masterclass where I show you why exactly this is happening, why so many people are not getting responses to their applications, and the 3 steps you need to be taking when you're applying for jobs online. So, hey, I'm going to drop that link in the description. Make sure you check it out. It's a free masterclass. It's a video that you can watch that's going to let you know exactly what's happening behind the scenes and what you can do, right? The 3 steps you need to be taking when you're applying for jobs online, all right? So, hey, thanks so much for your attention. Hope this information was valuable and helpful. And hey, make sure you keep this in mind when you're creating your resumes, folks. Very important. I do not want you to lose out on opportunities out there simply because you had multiple columns that the ATS could not properly convert and parse, all right? So, hey, keep pushing through in your job search, and I'll see you again next time.